Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. What I got in front of me is a bag from DoorDash. Now, I'm back here in Indiana for a few days, as I've told you on my last talking video. And before I forget, I would like to thank everybody everyone who has recently subscribed to my channel. Thank you. Everyone who has recently watched my videos and left comments below, thank you. I realize I have not been answering my comments on a regular basis because I have been very busy with life, but I just want to let everybody know, thank you for watching my videos, thank you for subscribing, thank you for leaving a thumbs up, and thank you for leaving comments below. I appreciate it. Now this video is going to be about how I'm going to be making my money in Alabama. Now I told you guys on one of the talking videos I've made, I want to say maybe a month and a half, give or take, I told you guys how frustrated I was with my job that I had before here in Indiana and how I wanted to quit, how I did not want to work 9 to 5 and I wanted to start my own business and you know, just on and on. Well, when I went down to Alabama, I did DoorDash for a little bit of time. I didn't do DoorDash for real long. I mean, to be completely frank, I did DoorDash for a few days down in Alabama. Now, I went to one of the smaller communities in Alabama and I didn't make worth of shit. I mean, I made $50, 8 hours worth of delivery. So I only went to that particular community for one day. The rest of the time I DoorDashed in Montgomery, which in Montgomery I did far, when it came to my money, I made a lot more money. Now, I did not record myself dashing because, for one, I don't got the equipment for that. And honestly, even if I did, I wouldn't know how to do it. So I'm going to just be honest on that aspect. Now, anyways, so I DoorDashed in Montgomery for several days. And I would say on average per day, I made, I want to say, about $100. And as far as the amount of hours I spent DoorDashing, I would say each day I DoorDashed anywhere from 6 to 7 hours. And I'm pretty sure if I would have DoorDashed a little longer, or if I would have been willing to drive a little faster, or if I would have known the area a little better, I could have made more money. So, for those of you that want to DoorDash, just bear in mind as I tell you my experience of dashing and what I think of that type of work. I'm just telling you from my perspective, from what I've been through, from my personal experience. I can't speak for nobody else out here but myself. But anyways, I DoorDashed in Montgomery for a handful of days. And to make a long story short, I guess to me, whether you DoorDash or you do Uber Eats or Grubhub or whatever app is out there, obviously, for those of you that don't mind having people in your vehicle, you can go ahead and do Uber, or you can do some kind of ride-sharing app. You can work off of some kind of ride-sharing app. Now, me personally, I'm not a fan of having people in my car. I'm not even going to sit here and tell you guys that I'm a big people person because I'm not. So for those reasons, I don't do any type of ride sharing work. I prefer to deliver food and merchandise over having people in my car. But anyways, and as far as been working DoorDash, my attitude about DoorDash after doing it for a few days is the money is okay. Personally, I don't think the money for DoorDash is great at all. I think at the very best, the money you make on DoorDash is okay. Now, there's other people on this YouTube platform that make all kind of videos about, they make all kind of videos showing us how they DoorDash, showing us all the money that they're making, yada yada, this and that and the third. Which is actually how I got into doing DoorDashing, because I watched several channels on DoorDash, on people that currently DoorDash, and they talking about they making X amount of money, blah blah blah, this and that and the third. Now, granted, a lot of these people probably knew their area far better than I know Montgomery, and a lot of these people work way more hours than I've worked. You got people that work, they did 8 hours, 10 hours, even over 12 hours. Me, I stopped at, most of the time I stopped at 6 hours. Sometimes I might do 8, but I would say for the most part I only work 6 hours. Because my goal was to make $100, and after $100 I'm done. Because the thing about DoorDash and Grubhub and all these delivery apps I dislike. Let me talk about DoorDash, because that's the only app that I worked off of when it comes to delivery is DoorDash. I can't speak for all these other food companies. So let me talk about DoorDash. Now, I didn't start dashing until I got to Alabama. So since my address is still here in Indiana, I was unable to make certain deliveries because I didn't have my hot bag, either did I have my credit card. But when I came back to Indiana, I had my neighbor pick up my mail while I was out of town. So anyhow, I got my bag, I got my credit card, and I got my little face mask, and they even give you a thing of hand sanitizer to stay clean and all that type of shit. But anyways, I'm not a big fan of DoorDash. And I don't think I'm going to be a big fan of any delivery app, because number one, when you work these type of jobs typically are going to be hauling your car. You're going to do a lot of stopping and going. You're going to do a lot of inner city driving. And oftentimes, to maximize the amount of money you make, I don't care what they say about going the speed limit and obeying the law, which you should do, by the way. And and for the most part, I did. But I don't care what they say about that. If you want to maximize the money you make, typically you're going to have to go a little beyond the speed limit. It is what it is. That's just how that goes. And what I dislike about these delivery apps is, like for DoorDash, for an example, you might get an order for, let's say $10. You look at the order, everything on the service looks good. You might only be 2 miles away from, let's say, Burger King or McDonald's or Taco Bell. So okay, you're cool. 2 miles away, no big deal. You go to McDonald's, you grab up the customer's order, and then when you go back on your phone and you go back on the DoorDash app for directions to the customer's house. Sometimes, if you're lucky, that person's house may be within 5 minutes of the restaurant where you picked up that person's order. If you're not so lucky, well, you might be driving across the town to deliver this person's stuff. Now, there were a couple of orders that I've picked up to where, okay, the restaurant was only a couple of minutes away. Okay, cool, whatever. But then when I went to go deliver this stuff to the customer, when I went to go get door-to-door directions off of the DoorDash app, the delivery was 18 minutes / maybe, 15 miles away, give or take. And at this point, I already got the customer's food in my car, so once I already got their food, so I really can't cancel. I mean, I could if I wanted to and just give the food back, but I'm not doing all that. I mean, I got the customer's food. The customer is waiting for their stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and deliver this person's food. And just hope for the best in terms of traffic not being too crazy. So I mean, in fact, I've gotten quite a few orders like that, where the restaurant was only a couple of miles or so from where I was waiting for orders. But then when I got the order, it may have been way across town, 15, 20 minutes away. And there were some times when I had to deal with a substantial amount of traffic. Because a lot of times I might deliver from 11 o'clock in the morning until maybe 6 o'clock, until maybe 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. Or I might do 12 o'clock noon to 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. Every so often I might do until 8 o'clock in the evening. It all depends on how I felt, basically, and what I had going on outside of DoorDash that day. Because the main reason why I went down to Alabama was to check out communities and look at houses to purchase. I decided to go ahead and work DoorDash because, for one, I don't like even though I saved up a substantial amount of money to be able to make all this happen for myself, going down to Alabama, buying a house and doing whatever, after a few days, I just had to go back to work. I just couldn't stand not working. I couldn't stand spending my money and slowly watching my savings decrease and not being out here making money and putting money back into savings. I'm not built like that. I'd rather go out here and work and make my money as I spend money. That way I never go broke. And I can still maintain financial responsibility and also be a productive citizen of whatever community that I reside in or I'm currently in. So for those reasons, I decided to try DoorDash. Because I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to do DoorDash anyways until the springtime comes to where I can, venture off and do my business. So I figure from now until spring, I'm going to just do DoorDash just so I can make a little bit of money and still maintain financial responsibility. So that's why I did DoorDash for those few days. And after a few days of doing DoorDash, like I said, other than everything I've just said about the driving to the other side of town to get the customer their order and having to deal with traffic at times. Another thing about DoorDash which I really did not like is, I'm gonna be honest with you people, if I have to drive at nighttime, I will drive at nighttime. I do plenty of nighttime driving. But when it comes to driving at night, delivering people's food, number one, in a lot of your major cities, to include Montgomery, things can get a bit dangerous if you're not careful. And not only that, but also at nighttime, it's a lot harder to see people's addresses. Because some of the deliveries I had to make, I was unable to see the person's address because it was dark. And their address was not lit. It's just hard to see people's address because it was dark. And then I got a fair amount of orders to where the order was in an apartment complex. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I hate doing apartment complexes. I hate apartments. I hate apartments because number one, sometimes it's hard to find the person's building. I mean, you might find like if I get an order for, let's say, apartment B26, it might take me a minute to find B building, and then once I find B building, I have to look around for 26. I mean, like, and when I used the GPS when I went on the DoorDash app and used the DoorDash app for door-to-door directions, I mean, sometimes it would even take me. It's going to take me to the right street, but it would take me to the wrong complex. So when I get to the complex, I can't find the unit, I can't find the apartment number because it's the wrong complex. So I've had that happen to me a fair amount of times. So, so whenever that happens, obviously it's gonna cause me to take longer to deliver the customer's order. And as far as my delivery, as far as the amount of times that I deliver a customer's order on time, my ratings in that department is going to go down, which is going to be a bad look on me. It's not going to look good for me to deliver someone's order late. I don't like being late with people's order. And secondly, it's just not going to look. It's not going to be a good look for me. It just isn't. And then on top of that, it's going to cripple my ability to maximize the amount of money that I could have made for that day, because a delivery that should take, let's say, 10 minutes from the time I pick up the order to the time that I'm supposed to have it at that person's doorstep. If an order is supposed to take 10 minutes, if I'm in the wrong complex and I'm looking around for the person's number, that 10-minute delivery time might turn into 15 or 20-minute delivery time. And not only will the customer be upset because they got their crap late, but I might get a low rating, and plus my on time, and plus the average amount of times that I've been on time with the person's order is going to go down. So that's going to be a bad look for me as a delivery driver. And like I said, it's going to cripple my ability to maximize the amount of money that I can and should be making for delivering for companies like DoorDash. So, and also, like I said, I mean, when you do delivery jobs like DoorDash, it's hauling your car. Plus, and whatever money you make, you gotta bear in mind, the money you make, you gotta also deduct for taxes at the end of the year. I mean, if you do DoorDash, Grubhub, or any delivery app type of work, you're gonna be what they call an I-9 worker, which means at the end of the year, you better have some money set aside to pay the taxes for the money that you've earned. And also, you also gotta take into consideration your gas, your wear and tear on your vehicle. And so far, the communities that I've been looking at in Alabama to reside in, I would say the majority of them are going to be close to, if not a little more than an hour away from Montgomery. So if I wanted to do DoorDash full time, I would have to drive an hour, give or take, each way from wherever I live to Montgomery to do my dashing. And then when I'm done, I got to drive an hour back home. So that's another reason why I'm not a big fan of delivery jobs like DoorDash. Which is the reason why I chose to, for the time being, go back to a regular W-2 9-to-5 job. Because to me, for what I'm looking for financially, for me, the 9-to-5 W-2 job is going to make sense. It's going to make more sense. I mean, from a financial standpoint, that type of a job is going to be better for me than doing a job like DoorDash. So I figure for now, until I'm able to do what I want to do as an entrepreneur, I'm going to just go back to working a 9 to 5. Because I don't see the logic in working DoorDash. You know, I mean, I don't see the logic in driving an hour to Montgomery and to work DoorDash for 6 to 8 hours, tearing up my car, burning up a ton of gas. You know, having to possibly drive into questionable neighborhoods, having to work at night, and then when I get done, I gotta drive an hour back home, wherever that might be. But it's like I said, it's gonna most likely be close to, if not more than an hour from Montgomery, because those are the type of communities that I desire to live in. So with all that being said, I don't, you know, now will I ever work DoorDash again? Probably. You know, once I, you know, whenever I'm on the road and I'm doing my traveling, like eventually I will do that. So whenever I get back on the road to where I'm doing like traveling from state to state, I mean, I might do DoorDash at that point just to make a little extra money, just so I can make enough money to at least fund the money I spend on gas and the money I might have to spend on hotel rooms and things of that nature. And even if I choose to stay here in Alabama, or if I choose to, you know, if I choose to stay here in Indiana, or I choose to make Alabama my new home, I might do DoorDash 1 or 2 days a week just to supplement my income. But as far as doing DoorDash full time every day, I've decided after a few days of dashing in Alabama that DoorDash full time is not going to be for me. It's not going to be logical for me. And for me, it's just not going to be anything that's even going to make sense. So, yeah. Well, I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the video. And I thank every one of you for watching. I hope everybody has a blessed day, and I will see you guys on the next video.